Alright guys, I'm driving. Thought I would do a quick little video for you guys. A topic came up recently about demons, and I am doing a video today on that subject because I don't feel like a lot of people understand what's going on with demons and dark energy. Demons and dark energy is just a manifestation of just what I said. It's energy. You can have dark energy and light energy depending on what you put out as a person. So people that are living right now on Earth, they have dark energy or light energy as well. Now, the dark energy and the demons, demons really try to steal energy from people. That's how they gain power. So they will try to steal any kind of energy they can from you in order to gain control and possession on you. So, you know, there's a lot of people that are living right now, probably people that you know, that try to, they can try to suck the energy, they drain the life out of you. And they do this by a lot of narcissistic behavior, individuals that carry those type of behaviors with them. They learn to control you, and they end up breaking you down to where they get you to believing that, you know, this is you and there is no other way, and they kind of just keep you bound to them. This narcissistic behavior is no different than what a demon does from the other side. So you got to think that, just keep in mind that, you know, we are all energy. So when we die, we take that same energy with us, and that determines where we go. Emotions is energy in motion. And that's so important to comprehend. You know, a lot of times when I'm talking, it just seems like I'm talking about the dead, and it's not always the case, because you guys gotta understand that we are energy. We're in a physical body. You know, it's our vehicle. Our physical body is our vehicle. This other forms of energy might not have the same vehicle as we have, but they still experience emotions, and this energy they develop strength from. So, you know, just like a person, like a boyfriend, or, you know, a family member or a friend who drains you, who is constantly draining you, these people oftentimes don't know what they're doing. They just need attention or feel sorry for me. When you pity party these people and tiptoe around them, when you feed into what they want you to be, that gives them energy. It gives them strength. And we don't need to feed these type of people their strength. You know, I'm not telling you that not all people can be saved or helped, but when you're feeding somebody energy that, you know, is draining you, and it's causing them to do nothing but continue on with their power, with their control, all those things, these are bad signs of demon-like possessions. And when I get into that is, you know, everybody isn't always like, you're not always safe from being drained. I mean, both spiritually and physically. Every day, you know, you're dealing with stresses of life. Every single day, you're having to filter out what serves good purpose to you and what doesn't. And if you don't have the strength to get away from somebody that's really harming you mentally, physically, emotionally, they're pulling you down to their level. They're lowering your self-worth. They're draining your energy. You are defeated feeling, you know, tired. Those are all things of dark energy manifestations, and those are not good for you. So how do you get out of that? You have to have strength and faith, knowing that you are able to leave that. You're able to be happy on your own. You don't need anyone to tell you that they love you or to tell you how beautiful you are. You don't need anyone to control your every movement. Jealousy is another factor in that. You know, you can't just live in jealousy and burden somebody to the point where their freedom is limited. Happiness is about being you, being trusted, being trustworthy. Just be yourself. And if somebody's limiting you, that's not good. That's not good for you. And so if you die and you... Sorry about that. I had a phone call and I lost you guys. Where we were at is, I'm saying that if you die and you have negative energy manifestations within you, and it doesn't really matter what those negative energy manifestations could be. They're all emotions. And I'm talking negative emotions. If you die with these negative emotions that are keeping you sad or angry or mad or resentful or jealous or hating people, hatred, fearful. All these things keep you bound at a lower level. And so when you die, you do not want to have these emotional attachments to yourself. These are not of God. None of that is of God. Okay, so in order to get to heaven with Jesus, to live in heaven for all eternity, you can't have that. And you have to learn how to let that go. And if you don't learn this life, it's very possible you'll be learning in the afterlife in different dimensions of reality, which that's another story. But you know, I do believe in many lives, and I'm a Christian, but I soul travel and I see them. So you know, there's no way that I could be told otherwise. So again, I always speak it as I know it. But I think it's just so important that people don't really think about it as, you know, demons are scary, right? They're dark energy. Demons are cowards. They have to come in numbers, okay? So, according to my power, I could take on 4 to 5 demons, okay? And I'm talking about in the afterlife. And I could take it on by my spiritual advancement and knowledge, because I know what they are. They can't fool me, okay? So, bring this back into reality. Don't let people fool you, period. I mean, people look good, but you could see the devil in sheep's clothing too, you know? So you just really got to trust your instinct always. If something doesn't feel right, get away from it. That's your energy communicating with you, telling you that it doesn't matter how pretty this looks, don't do it. Your energy, your gut instinct will also tell you if something doesn't seem right, if you're in a bad place, if you get a creepy feeling. These are all, you can feel dark energies, and these are all dark energies. So if you're feeling dark energies, stay away from it. Don't conform to it, because once you conform to it, once you just say, oh, and you let your mind take over your brain here and say, no, that's not possible, well, then you're not listening to your inner self. And your higher self always knows. God will protect you, but once you cross into that darkness, then you're going to have a hard time getting out of it, you know? And it's difficult. Life's difficult, and it's a lesson, and we're supposed to be learning. And that's what, I mean, this is just a lesson to advance. This is just an advancement, you know? And I feel like it's grade school still, you know? It's grade school level, and we all got advancements. So where we go from here is up to us, but make sure you don't let people drain you. We don't have that many demons in the world that's going to be powerful enough to really affect you. You can take care of it yourself. I'm not going to tell you there isn't, you know, really dark, heavy, devil-like manifestations, because there are, but technically those are the real strong devil-like demon manifestations that require a priest and exorcist are usually very evil, obviously, very devious, very tricky. They are able to get within your body. And how that happens is people that are very defeated in life, people that are weak, emotionally weak, you know, that could happen because they're unstable. They've had a bad hand dealt with to them, or, you know, whatever to be the case. You have to really be spiritually advanced or aligned correctly to tackle major demons like that. But the possessions happen when they are low themselves. When a person is weak, emotionally weak and unstable themselves, that's when a possession can happen. And I'm not going to say that those severe obsessions doesn't happen, because they do. But I'm more lines talking about the spiritual possessions. Like, there's spiritual ones. By doing this YouTube channel, I have came across a lot of people, and it's really actually a blessing, because this one lady, it's just the alignment happened correctly to where she came from California and was in a friend's house of mine. She's a preacher from California, and we got to talking a little bit about my spiritual issues with astral traveling, how that I do not like them. They are unwilling, and I'm tired. There's some nights, like this week particular, the moon's alignment with the eclipse, man, I haven't rested. I might be sleeping 8 hours, but I'm getting 3 of those. And, you know, I'm a lot of the times fighting or battling or helping a soul cross over or what the case may be, and I'm tired. And so I was talking to her about that, and, you know, she is also someone who is spiritually advanced in knowledge. So she has experience with ghosts and things like that. So, you know, I want you to realize not all preachers and Christians are strictly by the Bible, that, you know, there is no past lives and things like that, because there are people that know. And her and some of her fellow colleague preachers from California also have experienced what I've experienced. And she said that she believes that the dark manifestations, and I never told her my past, by the way, so she's in tune enough psychically to know what's going on. So she's been a real help. And she said that, you know, I had been born into a household with a lot of negative energy. And, you know, my grandma had lost 2 children to death out of 7. One was murdered, one drowned at 10 years old, one murdered at 19. My grandma had a lot of emotions within her, a lot of fear. I remember, you know, just playing outside would scare her. She wanted to protect me, those things. She had fear of losing. And that, I mean, it's only normal to have that. She was a loving grandma, but at the same time, those are making you weak and vulnerable to more, you know, evil or dark energies to take over. And it's a snowball effect. And so when you become weak, then you give it power. And that's why it's important to stay in prayer and in God. So this Christian thinks that I was born into a household that had a lot of negativity. If you guys notice the pauses, I apologize. My phone has been ringing non-stop since I got on here, and a lot of the calls I've had to take, and so I've cut those out and went back in. But yeah, so I'm just trying to tell you that see, that happens to you too. If you start talking good and start telling people what's up, things happen to try to shut you up. And I'm not going to be shut up. I'm going to keep talking. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the Christian lady, the preacher from California, I had wrote a paper for her and delivered it to the churches. And so that's going to be a powerful thing coming up. I'm not going to get into that right now. But I did some channeling is all I'm going to say. And got some information from God. And it's been written and it's been delivered to 3 churches, so that'd be good. But what I'm trying to tell you now is that she really opened my eyes to some things, because she said, you know, it's not your grandma. Your grandma's a loving person, you know, and she was. I was there with her every day. It's just that she had emotional binding issues, and who knows what happened before her. I know her mom and dad were very violent, not good parents, and you know. So yeah, my grandma knew how to love, but she also had emotional issues that bound her to earth. And thank God she's passed now, and she's free and in heaven, and she's in heaven. But it took some time to get her over there, you know. And I'm just trying to tell you that this preacher woman really, she told me some things about the spirits, right? And here I am thinking I'm fine, right? This was only like, I'd say 6 months ago, if that. She starts praying and talking in tongues, but when she's praying for me, you guys, I can see her. And, you know, I've been to church and I've not ever felt that way. I could see her in the light of God as she was praying. And things were lifting from me as she was talking these tongues. And I felt like 100 pounds had lifted from me. And I didn't understand what was happening, but of course I knew it was godly, I knew it was holy, and I kept getting the message from the heavens, this is not your enemy. She is not an enemy. So I have to really go by what she has said, because I seen her in the presence of God as she was praying for me in a vision. Okay, and I'm in tune enough to know what that means. And so I really feel so grateful that God sent her to me to help free me of things that I didn't know I had. So as she's praying, you know, she's talking tongues, but, you know, occasionally I'll hear Jezebel, spirit of Jezebel, leave. The spirit of addiction, leave. The spirit of adultery, leave. You know, I'm not an adulteress, but, you know, I had been, and who knows if I wouldn't be, because I'm single, but I'm single for a reason, because I don't even need to answer that. I mean, I pretty much said enough. So I'm trying to tell you, I don't like to be bound. I don't like to be controlled. I don't like to be told what to do. Those are all things that I probably should work on if I want somebody, but I don't right now. You know, I'm good with me. So my purpose of telling you this is for her to be praying these spirits away from me. You know, she didn't say the demon of death, but you know, there is that too. And so we all have these things that tie us down. The spirit of Jezebel came up a lot. That means seduction. The spirit of addiction came up a lot. I'm addicted to cigarettes. I'm addicted to caffeine. You know, so as she's saying this, she's like talking in tongues, saying, "This is lifted. It's gone." You know, but I'm feeling it, and I'm seeing angels around me as she's praying, and I know that she's legit. And I felt so good, you guys, when I left that night. And she was called, and it was crazy. She even said herself, I'm called to Indiana during witching hour. It was 3 a.m. at a house, at my friend's house, in which she was praying this to me. And so for her to be called to save me like that, you know, and it was clear her intentions, you know. She didn't know why she was here, pretty much, and then we figured it out real quick because she saved me, is what she did. And I've been saved, I've been baptized, but there's emotions within me that, sorry guys, my phone, yeah, we won't even go there. But anyway, so as I was saying, there's emotions in me that needed let go, and I didn't realize I had them. And they were, you know, simple little things, like we were talking about the addiction part. I've had way worse addictions in my life than what I have now, which is cigarettes and caffeine or whatnot. That wasn't something I felt was affecting my life, and apparently it was. So a spirit of addiction was over me. You know, those are unhealthy habits that I had that helps, you know, if I was to quit smoking, which I haven't. You know, she prayed them away, but I had the self-will to continue or not, and I continued smoking. But you know, it's like you carry these emotional things that you don't even know you have, and the more you rise in vibration, or the more that you become more good with God, the more that you have more positivity in your life, you know, you start to notice the smallest things that might be keeping you offset. And those are spiritual attachments to things. The spirit of addiction is what I'm saying. Spirit of Jezebel, you know, even thoughts of being, I don't know, like thoughts of being unholy, or like I'm talking about sexually, like numerous sexual partners, anything like that, you know, anything that's seduction wise. A spirit of Jezebel. So you can look at it in many ways, but you know, if I'm single, right? So if I have one sexual partner that I enjoy spending time with on occasion, I wouldn't think that would be wrong, right? But after the preacher prayed this, and that spirit of Jezebel kept popping up, I kept thinking, man, like, wait, I'm not married. You know, those are things that seem like nothing. I'm not out there just having sex with whoever, but on the other case, I still am not being the way I should be and complete. And so I wasn't bound by these emotions. They were just part of me, and that's where you go wrong. You can't let things become a part of you. You just have to remember what's of God, and take a look at yourself and think of any thoughts that are not of God, because none of those are. And so, are they of you? They're only of you if you let it to be, you know? And so I think a lot of people just don't realize that we are influenced by spirits and dark energy all the time. We are also, you know, surrounded by positive light energies as well. So, you know, it's easier to look at the bad. You know, if you're in a conversation with somebody, sometimes, you know, you'll hear about this person did this person did that. Well, where's the good? You know, because there's good. Let's talk about that. There's more good than bad, but we only hear about the bad. So don't let that mess with your mind. I'll tell you, everybody's going through something in their life. Nobody's going to be free of it unless we're in heaven. And our job here is to filter that stuff out. And really try to focus on what's positive in your life. Try to stay away from those negative, toxic, draining people, okay? If they're not bringing something good to the table, you don't need it, you know? And I'm just trying to express the importance in understanding what energy really is, and how if we let it in, it can drain us, and that is the purpose of these lower dark manifestations. So don't let it ruin you, because it's doing more than just making you have a bad day. It's ultimately defeating the purpose of God's intention, and it's setting your standards way lower than they need to be in life. You're missing out on so much, and when you die having those kind of emotions and thoughts set within you, you are being divided and separated from God, from Source, from Jesus, from holiness. And so just because a demon is in soul form doesn't mean that it is not in people around you. So just remember, God sent his only son Jesus. What is one of the things that Jesus did while here on earth? He casted demons from people, casted them out and into pigs, okay? And so that passage right there should give you enough information to know that what I say is just and true. It is completely true. That people house things within them that's not of God, obviously. Energies that is not of God. Energies that does not have your best interest out, and is not looking out for your well-being. These energies, characteristics are anger, resentment, hatred, all those. Sadness, grief, jealousy. You know, we could keep going. But all of those are not of God. And they do, you know, get into people. And once that happens, then we're dealing with something more. And the more that it takes a person over, the weaker that person gets. That's when disease sets in. That's when emotional instability set in. That's when you start to see things fall apart in your life. These are something that everyone has to deal with. I mean, it's not just me or you or her or him. It's everybody. Everybody has to filter these out, because we are not in heaven yet. This is not heaven on earth yet. We are dealing with things that are not of God. And, you know, the whole Bible talks about that. And so separating yourself. And, you know, I've heard of some Christians separating themselves from their own beloved family members. And it's not something that is just done because they want to do that, because they're loving people. But they have to separate themselves from anyone that drains them from their energy. Anyone that lowers their worth, their standards. Anyone that's making them miserable in life, man. Life's too short for that. And that's not what heaven's about. And so yeah. And here soon, actually, there's this house that's completely absorbed with negative energy. So I went to my friend's house, and she is not the problem. She unfortunately had a suicide take place in her house, and I went over there not so long ago, and the energy was completely suffocating. And it's like when you're a light being as myself, and you walk into something like with dark energy to that extent, that extreme, it's like a brick wall. You know, it's like I can't cross. Like if I do, I know that I could be weighed down by something within. And the thing is, you know, I don't let that stop me from helping people. I've never let it stop me from helping people that have crossed over on the other side. But in order to get to this point, you really have to be a powerful person. And, you know, God places other powerful people in your life at the same time. And so it just so happened that somebody that has been in my life as an acquaintance or whatever, somebody that I really didn't care to talk to, is actually somebody that I can't stop talking to enough. And so there's a friendship that's developing, but also she's very in tune. She astral travels, you know, things that, you know, the person next to you would be surprised at what you don't know, because people don't talk about it. And when we started talking, I realized that, you know, she brings a lot of power to the equation, and together we are able to fight a lot of things for people, because people just don't understand what they're dealing with. They don't understand what's going on, and it's not fair. And I feel like my purpose is to help people see how to fix themselves from within, and also bring recognition to the fact that there's a lot of influences that harm people that are not even of them. And some people are just really dealt with in unfortunate hands, and as long as they have the will, and you know, God tells me who does and who doesn't for the most part, then we help them people. And so I am advancing spiritually as far as powerful, my power to help people, but I'm not gonna tell you that everything's easy, and I'm not gonna tell you that, you know, I actually think that it's safe to do everything that I do. And you really have to protect your energy all the time. Put yourself, an energy field around yourself, protect it, don't let nothing in. And the power of your positivity, the power of God, the power of the light will always trump whatever you're up against, both in the physical and after death. And so the power of the mind, the power of the strength of the mind, of knowing that you are of God and nothing's going to touch you. You know, those are important things for your everyday life. And so try to work on that. I know I threw a lot of information out here, but just try to pay attention to the things that come out of the people's mouths that you're around, and you know, just filter things out, and really try to focus on just being yourself, not worrying about judgments, not worrying about what people think. Live, have fun, love, and be real. All right, but I gotta go. If you would like and subscribe, share, I would really appreciate it. Trying to build this channel still, and I appreciate all the viewers I have. I appreciate the comments. My channel, you know, is still little, and so I'm able to go through and actually respond to these comments and see what's going on in your lives. And so I really appreciate the communication and interaction with you guys. I hope everything's good, and I will be back soon with something else. All right, have a good day.